So welcome guys to my channel again. My name is Rosbella Ototo, also known as Being Bella 254. I was watching something on TikTok around Shiku Nguru and a former colleague of mine, Hi Mike Modo, and she bravely talks about co-parenting. Guys, co-parenting is not easy. If you are doing it with someone who is trying to make it hard for you for whatever reason. And the question on whoever's page that is that had posted this was, should she let one of the baby daddies come see the kids in school if he's not providing? And that got me thinking. This thing has a lot of angles, a lot of angles. If you're a chick trying to figure out if you're gonna have babies or a baby with this guy, you have a lot of thinking to do. However, if the error has already occurred, not the error, if the boat has already sailed and you have children with one or two baby daddies, wow, you have a lot to deal with. I could see in the comments people saying, two baby daddies, that's a little too much, you must be the problem. I can't say she is or she isn't. I don't know her story. What I can tell you is I'm also a two-time baby mama. No awards for it. It's a thankless job, but I wouldn't want to live my life without my children. Those relationships did not work out for one reason or another. And so the boat sailed. Now we are in co-parenting. It is not usually the same from one co-parent of an old relationship to another co-parenting situation of a new relationship or the most recent relationship. There's a lot of angles. As for whether Shiku should have allowed the baby daddy to see the children in school, whether he's providing or not, that is entirely up to her. She knows her baby daddy the best. I cannot tell her what to do with her situation because she's the only one who understands it. Another thing I can tell you is custody, visitation rights for children are not determined by your feelings as a single mother or a single father. They are determined by the law, and a lot of times co-parents don't go the legal route. They decide on the get-go like whatever they have to do regarding a situation. However, I would say let's be very careful how we handle situations with the kids. Your partner might be the worst in the world, but if you don't let the law do its work, or if you don't follow, if you don't consider the law, it can work against you. Again, I have two children from two different relationships. These kids are 11 years apart, and it is very, very different. The kids are innocent, and you and your disappointment and your bitterness and your past should not come into play. You're the adults, they are the kids. How do you get yourself in a co-parenting situation? Well, ignoring red flags, that is one. Most probably you found him in a relationship or relationships because he was never a serious guy, and you found yourself with him for whatever reason. He convinced you to get to where you are, where you have a child with him. Selfishness. There are people who say you are selfish for keeping that pregnancy. Well, I won't judge you for deciding to do fetus deletus. That is your deal with you, between you and your God. And we are talking about where children are already in existence. So we move forward. How do we get yourself in this situation of co-parenting? Again, cheating and not forgiving cheating because it was not part of the package. He chose you and then later chose someone else, and you were not seeing yourself how, even though the bar was low enough for you to date someone who was cheating on another person to be with you, you do not want the bar to get even lower by staying with someone who cannot be faithful to you. There's a lot that happens. You can really go cuckoos with some of these behaviors that these people have, or you can get diseases, or it can get dangerous. Ask the women in Langata Women's Prison. So if your anger management situation is not that tough, walk away. It is allowed. That's another way you find yourself in that situation. Another situation is to be more international. I was listening to something on TikTok again, where a famous young basketballer, 23-year-old, what's his name? NBA star Anthony Edwards allegedly submitted paperwork to the court stating that he does not want to, visitation rights, does not want to be part of his allegedly 4-month-old baby, who would be a baby by his 4th baby mama. Currently has 3 kids with 3 baby mamas. Again, I don't want to be sued, allegedly. This young girl would be the 4th baby mama, and he says he had told the baby mama to terminate the pregnancy. She refused, so he does not see why his paycheck should be attached to that new child. Again, we put ourselves in very fishy, funny situations, and others even worse. Those ones who target celebrities, those ones who target rich people, those ones. And this man doesn't want to have children with you. Maybe they have made it clear. Those ones who don't make it clear, you can read from the room. You can tell he's not the type to settle. But you decide to go ahead and have a child with this person, you will find yourself in a co-parenting situation. There are those ones who legitimately find themselves in co-parenting situations. They were married legitimately to someone they dated. They did not steal that person from someone. There's a trending quite a number of new situations where men are soft, and I know Gen X baby boomer mothers used to say it's a man's world, treat a man like a child. Oh, there are men who are taking that pretty seriously right now. It's their way or the highway. They cause really huge tantrums if you do not bow down or worship the ground they walk on. These men walk away from very good relationships. That's another way you find yourself as a co-parent to an undergrown adult male. Wow. Now, if you don't listen to them, to their ridiculous requests, if you do not bow down to their every request, they walk away. It's safe to just let them walk away, because another ridiculous request is going to follow that one, and no matter how much you bow down or how flat you lay on the floor for them to walk on you, they'll still say you're not flat enough. That's another way you find yourself as a co-parent. And those are the ones who stop sending child support, because sending you child support means to them, to their small minds, mean they are feeding you, clothing you, paying your bills. Have you seen the story of Dr. Mwaka on TikTok? That's how it is portrayed. That's not my opinion. However, for me, that's the best kind of explanation for such princesses or men who would rather not give child support because you're no longer with them. There are those ones of the leave the kids to the men school of thought. I find them, I have a 50-50 feeling about it. Half of me says they're stronger than I am. Can you imagine carrying children to term and giving birth naturally, once, twice, 3 times, and then the relationship doesn't work out and you leave the children to the father? Then you go further your studies, go work in another country, county, whatever, and they've made it. Those ladies have made it in life, but I don't know if I can sleep at night knowing that my children are with this man or men. Maybe because my situation is different. I think it's easier when you know the man can do a good job taking care of your children, or maybe he has good support, or maybe he has a good wife, whoever he ended up with. But when you find yourself in a situation where a baby daddy has other baby mamas and you do not know, he's a coward. He will not introduce you to this woman or women so that you know who's going to be taking care of your children, and you know very well it's not him who's going to take care of those children. It becomes a little hard for you to decide to leave him the children and go away for days, for weeks, for even months or years to go and better your life, just because your relationship did not work out and you still have ambitions and a lot of potential. There are those ones who leave their children to their fathers, and there are those ones, a lot of us believe a child's father cannot harm that child. Yes, we've seen all these things that happen on TV and all, but then it's not all cases. And me, for sure, I know my children's fathers cannot hurt them. However, I don't know the people they're with right now. I don't know them to that extent. And I believe if they could bring us together so I know who's going to be in charge of my children, I can always leave the children and go start my life afresh. But for how long? And is there a guarantee? Or are you dealing with a narcissistic kind of man who does not want you improving your life? You will go out there, you've quit your current stable job, you go out there and 2 weeks down the line, he starts telling you, oh, this is not working out, come and get your kids. Now, you've destroyed the job you are doing in Nairobi. You've just started a new job or school, wherever you've gone, and he wants you to come back to take care of your children. There are those ones who are not happy for your growth. And it's not like you can do that secretly. They leave, but they want to know what you're up to. Somehow, some way, they will find out that you're out there trying to improve your life. One of them would be happy, the other one would rather die. That's what I'm saying. Co-parenting situations are different. And for those who can leave their kids to their fathers and go improve their lives, good for you. You are a few of the lucky ones. My biggest fear in co-parenting is now I have 2 baby daddies. It hasn't worked out. Dating seriously, I'm already wondering. And a 3rd baby daddy, that's a little too much. Maybe because I'm not ready. I'm sure there are men out there, older especially, who don't mind that, as long as you're serious about settling down. You're a serious mother, you're a serious spouse, someone you can trust, you can entrust with a lot of things, which I am. But then a man is not an island, unless he's a total orphan with no siblings, if you know what I mean. Because this man might love you, but he might not have the guts to defend your relationship or marriage to his people. And a lot of the time, it doesn't matter. A marriage or a relationship does not matter to the people around him because it's between the two of you. But the man is not an island. You'll get into that relationship. You will prove your womanness, that you are enough. But the minute his people start asking, why are you taking up a woman who has children from elsewhere? He will not fight for you. I know there are men who are good enough to take up women with children from other marriages, but that battle of possible rejection, you taking yourself through that, you taking your children through that, is it really worth it? And then again, a man can promise you heaven, but then once you're in that marriage, you realize his capabilities is only up to a certain level. And you can't hold him accountable for children who are really not his, if at all he's not capable of what he promised. So for me, a 3rd relationship and marriage, wow, it is a very tall order. Of course, I do not want to die alone. It's lonely, it's boring, and the bills are really crazy. But I'm not going to get married because I'm tired of paying bills. He might pay the bills, but he might beat me up every single day as to pulp. Or you might end up with a psycho who's going to touch your daughter. Then I might end up in jail because that cannot just go by. Anyway, to avoid all that, I think just take your time. However, for Kina Shiku Nguru, good for you. I think you've done well for yourself. A lot of people have been waiting for your marriage with Mike to fall down like yesterday. But me, I'm hoping, not because I know Mike, I'm hoping it works out for you all, because it's not your job, but you're a representative for those of us who wish to start afresh and this time make it work. So all I can do is really, really, really wish you the best. As for the question, should you have let your baby daddy to go see the kids in school and he's not providing? I have a very good example of a close friend of mine. I won't name names just in case she wants to murder me. So she is doing well for herself. She was gonna get married, didn't work out, but there's a child and she's doing really well for herself because she did not dwell on. In fact, once it didn't work out, it became a past. You don't wait for months or years for it to become a past. And she's done well for herself. She has her papers, she has a good job, and the daughter has really had a good time. Knows the dad, is allowed to go see the dad. My friend does everything for that child. One day she goes to school and it's one of those international schools. It's a sports day and finds the baby daddy there. Are you going to cause tantrums because this man does not provide? You look at your child and she's happy that her father is there. Believe me, you will allow it. Because whether you want it or not, you've never been a man, you never will be a man. And a father matters. And as much as he is not providing financially, just his presence alone made that child happy. You will be quiet. You will be happy when your child is happy because the child is happy to see the dad. Not to show like I'm 100% on that side, because there's also, again, it's a case by case situation. There's also a baby daddy who will take your child today to one girlfriend, next week to another girlfriend, and sometimes you're talking about to another country, where this man has so much power because he recently made a lot of money, and even the person he left you for is being cheated on by an even more powerful woman. So if he takes your child to that other country, your calculation is, do I have the powers, do I have the monies for me to fight for my child to come back to my country? So anyway, what I would do is, yes, allow, but let the school know what is going on so that he can come see the children or the child, but he cannot leave the school with the child if you're not alerted, if you've not approved. Because if at all he's as mad as some baby daddies are, mad and powerful and have enough funds, you will never see your child again. Or it's going to take years. And something somewhere is going to happen, and that will be it. My biggest fear again is what we see in the news every day, what stepmothers do to these children. And you'll even find that stepmother doesn't even have children with this man. But this man is treating your child like a toy, like a gift, like a pair of expensive shoes. He wants to give your child to this woman he cheated on you with, settled down with, as a proof that you and him have nothing going on. It's not like you don't have a job or means of survival. It's not like you don't have a family who can support you. But he wants to give this child to the woman he cheated on you with and settled with, like a gift. This, you find it ridiculous. Why would he want to keep the child with this woman and you're alive? You're capable. You get? So that would be my only fear. But let the child know who the father is. Let them hang out. Keep a close eye, because I'm sure there's so many cases with the children's department where children went and they never came back. So, Shiku Nguru, whatever you decide, I hope it works out, because we're going to use your scripts at some point. That is all for today. Like, share, subscribe, See you next time on the next episode. I'm Rosebella Ototo, also known as Being Bella 254.